You're in an egg, a massive, leathery egg buried in a shallow nest of dirt and rotting vegetation. It's cozy though, and quiet. Too quiet. You're not sure what's out there, but your instincts are already telling you one thing. It's not going to roll out the welcome mat when you hatch. After weeks of growing and kicking, you finally break through the eggshell. Congratulations, you're officially a brand new baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. The king of the dinosaurs, right? Wrong. You're 12 inches tall, wobbly on your feet, and your only kingdom is the pile of leaves you were born into. Oh, and your siblings? Yeah, they're hatching too. That's right, your first challenge in life isn't fending off a hungry predator, it's fighting your brothers and sisters for food. Because T-Rex parenting philosophy boils down to one rule. Good luck, kids! Your mum, nowhere to be seen. She laid those eggs and bolted, probably out hunting or just trying to avoid playing babysitter to a bunch of bite-sized maniacs. And your dad, don't even ask, he's long gone. T-Rex dads are the prehistoric equivalent of that guy who promises to stay in touch after one date but never calls. So it's just you, your siblings, and a whole lot of competition. Your first order of business? Not dying. Your siblings are already clawing and snapping at each other for the best spot in the nest, and you quickly realize that being cute doesn't get you very far when everyone else is trying to eat your face. You elbow your way to the front of the nest, snag a scrap of meat your mum probably left behind, and swallow it whole. Victory, for now.
You win!
You might think being a baby T-Rex means you're automatically top of the food chain. Nope. Not even close. Right now, you're at the bottom rung, and the world is full of things that would love to turn you into a prehistoric chicken nugget. Raptors, crocodile-like Deinosuchus, and even other T-Rexes wouldn't think twice about snacking on you. Your best strategy? Run. Run fast and hide even faster. T-Rex babies like you are actually pretty good at this. With your long legs and lightweight frame, you can dart into bushes, duck under logs, or scramble up rocky slopes faster than most predators can catch you. But don't get cocky, this isn't exactly a winning strategy. Sure, you can hide, but you can't do it forever. You'll have to learn to fend for yourself sooner rather than later.
Hadouken!
Your first few weeks are basically a crash course in survival. You stumble around the dense, humid forests of the late Cretaceous, dodging predators and trying to figure out what's edible. Spoiler, it's not always obvious. That weird-looking plant, turns out it's poisonous. That squishy thing under the log, oh great, it's a nest of angry prehistoric ants. And that juicy frog you finally managed to catch? Yeah, it's hopping away because your tiny baby teeth can't hold on to anything yet. But you're learning, slowly. Each day you get a little stronger, a little faster, and a little smarter. You start catching small lizards, insects, and the occasional unlucky bird. It's not much, but it's enough to keep you alive, and out here, that's all that matters. A few months in, you hit your first growth spurt, and by growth spurt, I mean you're doubling in size faster than a kid at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Your legs get longer, your arms stay hilariously tiny, and your teeth start coming in sharp and jagged. Sure, you're getting stronger, but you're also getting hungrier. And that's a problem, because your old diet of bugs and lizards just isn't cutting it anymore. Time to level up. You start stalking slightly bigger prey, small mammals, juvenile dinosaurs, and anything else slow or stupid enough to get caught. Your hunting skills, let's just say they're a work in progress. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you trip over your own feet, and sometimes your prey fights back harder than you expected. You learn the hard way that porcupine-like dinosaurs are not worth the effort. By the time you're a teenager, you're a walking tank. At 10 to 15 feet long, you're too big for most predators to mess with. But you're still not the apex predator you're destined to become. Adult T-Rexes still see you as competition, or worse, a convenient snack. So, you're stuck in this awkward in-between phase, where you're too big to hide, but not quite big enough to throw your weight around. To make matters worse, you're always hungry. Your metabolism is through the roof, and you need to eat constantly just to keep up with your rapid growth. But hunting is still hit or miss. Sometimes you score a decent meal, like a hatchling Triceratops or an unlucky Hadrosaur. Other times you spend hours stalking prey only to come up empty-handed. And scavenging? Forget it. The adults have already claimed all the best carcasses, and they're not exactly big on sharing. Let's talk about those arms for a second. Yes, your arms are tiny, comically tiny. They're basically two useless noodles attached to your massive body. You can't grab things, you can't climb, and you definitely can't use them to fight. Honestly, they're more of a liability than anything else. Every time you trip and fall, which happens more than you'd like to admit, your face hits the ground because your arms are too short to catch yourself. Evolution really did you dirty on this one. Finally, after years of struggle, you hit adulthood. At over 40 feet long and weighing in at 8 to 10 tons, you're the undisputed king of the late Cretaceous. Your bite force is the strongest of any land animal, capable of crushing bone like it's a potato chip. Your massive legs allow you to cover ground with surprising speed, and your keen sense of smell can detect prey from miles away. You're a walking nightmare, and everyone knows it. But being on top isn't as easy as it sounds. For starters, you're still really hungry. Your massive size means you need to eat hundreds of pounds of meat every week just to survive. And while you're an incredible hunter, you're not exactly subtle. Your massive bulk and thunderous footsteps make it hard to sneak up on anything, so you have to rely on ambush tactics or sheer brute force to take down prey. And then there's the competition. Other T-Rexes are constantly challenging you for territory, mates, and food.
Final round. Fight.
These fights are brutal, with bone-crushing bites and earth-shaking roars. Winning means you get to keep your hard-earned territory. Losing, well, let's just say no one writes heartwarming stories about the T-Rex that got kicked out of its own turf. Speaking of territory, let's talk about mating. Finding a mate as a T-Rex is no walk in the park. First, you have to impress the ladies, which usually involves some combination of roaring, stomping, and showing off your scars. If a female decides you're worth her time, congratulations. You've won the dinosaur dating game. But don't get too comfortable. Female T-Rexes are just as aggressive as the males, and if you're not careful, she might decide you're more useful as dinner than a mate. Assuming everything goes well, she'll lay a clutch of eggs and take care of them, by which I mean she'll bury them in the dirt and leave. T-Rex parenting, everybody. As the years go by, you start to slow down. Your once powerful legs feel heavier, your eyesight isn't as sharp, and your scars ache when it rains. Hunting gets harder, and younger T-Rexes start eyeing your territory with the same hunger you once had. You hold your ground as long as you can, but eventually the jungle takes its toll. One day, after a particularly brutal fight with a rival, you find yourself limping through the forest, bloodied and battered. You lie down in a quiet spot, feeling the weight of years pressing down on you. The sounds of the jungle fade, and you close your eyes for the last time. Somewhere not far from where you rest, a baby T-Rex hatches from its egg. It stumbles into the world, wide-eyed and vulnerable, ready to start the same journey you just finished. The jungle doesn't care about kings or legends, it just keeps moving forward, one bite at a time. So, does it suck to be born as a T-Rex? Absolutely. But for a brief, glorious moment, you were the king of the dinosaurs. And honestly, that's not a bad way to live.